Alright guys, first off I just want to say welcome back to another video. I think the title of this one is probably how I'm going to turn 2026 into the best year of my life. And obviously we're at the end of 2025, but this process for me has already started. It started a couple of weeks ago. We'll go through it and we'll break it down, and then you'll see how you can use this same framework to make 2026 the best year of your own life. So straight off the bat, it's pretty simple. 2025 is almost over, and I don't know about you, but I've had time to sit down and reflect. The first thing is you got to reflect and, take it all in. 2025 has been quite the year. It's important to think about what we have achieved. So for myself, I got consistent with YouTube. I cleared out nearly 85% of my debt. I managed to build that 10k emergency fund. I've still got money in investments, and from here I realised what I fucked up at, and I didn't put as much time and effort into my health as what I would have liked to. And as well as this, I didn't spend as much time with family and doing those little hobbies and things to de-stress. I was very, very work orientated this year, just like past years, to be honest. So after processing all that, letting all that die and carry on, I decided to pick one goal in each of the three areas of my life. And that was essentially pay off the last of the debt and continue to invest. So I guess you could say that's a financially motivated goal. I then want to look at doing the carnivore diet strictly and hitting the gym. Now, I'm not a big fitness influencer and this and that, but carnivore works for me because if you're unaware, I'm a type 1 diabetic. It seems to keep my blood sugars pretty steady and level, and we like that to feel good while that's happening. Of course, it's not for everyone. I'm a big believer that different diets, different nutrition for different people. So I guess we could call that a fitness goal. And from there, I've just taken up fishing again and continuing to build this YouTube channel. So I guess we could call that learning a skill or a hobby and trying to expand that. So those are the three areas in life. We've got finance, fitness, and skills and hobbies. So I guess why three goals? Well, those are the three main areas of my life, I guess, really, and you could almost say that's the main three areas for anyone's life. You could add spirituality if you wanted to. I myself am a Christian, believer in God, but we'll leave that for another time. So from here, after looking at the three goals, you want to sit down and you really want to have a think about why. Why'd you pick these three things? For me, I chose my why as far as the financial goals because I want to be able to live off less and invest more now so I can work less later. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of what dividends are and growth stocks and all those things, so that's going to hopefully help fund me into retirement and before retirement. Next up, we've got the fitness. I've been out of shape now since probably 21, 22 years old, and again, it's starting to affect my health. I'm 31 now. It's been 10 years of just eating shit and abuse to my body, and it's not ideal. I'm not overly heavy, but there's room for improvement, and again, I've got to get those blood sugar levels back to where I need. And the skills and the hobbies, the reason for that is mainly to relax outside of work and be able to realise that there's more to life than work all the time. I think I'm definitely an avid workaholic. I have been for the last probably 10, 15 years. Even when I was a teenager, I remember putting ideas and schemes together and trying to work all the time. And it's finally time to step back from that a little bit. So after we choose our why, we need to talk about the obstacles. And the reason that you want to think about the obstacles and what's going to get in the way of each of these goals is that you can then kind of reverse engineer this whole process and figure it out. So let's take a look at my personal goals, and you can try and sit down and figure out your own obstacles. But as far as the finance goes, the biggest thing is consumer spending and I guess rushed purposes. They kind of fall under the same category. But when you be online and you just be scrolling through something and you see an ad for something and you think, oh, I need that. You really don't. You really, really don't. Well, in my case, I don't anyways. So I'm hoping to find a way to really just sit and think on these rush purposes, but we'll come up with the solutions in a minute, how we can avoid that and consumerism spending. From here, when we look at the obstacles that I've faced in the past in regards to my fitness journey, it always seems to be lack of food prep becomes snacking. You know, like you think you're going to do this and that, and you get to work and realise, oh no, I didn't prep my lunch for the day. Or you have a rushed breakfast, you pick something up from the shop on the way to work because you didn't prep, you didn't do the things and put the work in. As well as that, there's been plenty of times where I say I'm going to go to the gym after work. I've built a home gym in my house. I might chuck some photos up of that. And then all of a sudden you don't finish work until 7 p.m. It's been a 14-hour day. You're tired and you just want to go home, eat and go to sleep. Then if we move on to hobbies and skills, I think the main thing for me will be ease of access, like build a minimalist fishing setup for myself so I can just grab a rod, grab the tackle box and go of a weekend, even if that means having to pack the car the night before. And as far as YouTube, I think it means being aware of the time issue and the time problem that I have, which will mean being able to batch record videos so that I've always got something up my sleeve. So from here, after you've looked at your obstacles, you want to look at building the strategy and the things that are going to work for you. So for myself, as far as the finance goes, I know sticking to a budget is majorly important. Now, over the past few years, I've put that together and I know those skills. They're implanted in my head. I can think of my budget from week 1 to week 2, week A and B. Off the top of my head, I already know all my bills and expenses. But to further get on top of this and build that emergency fund back to 10 grand, we're going to start off with a 90-day no spend kind of start to the year to get that emergency fund back up to 10 grand and pay off the remainder of this last loan. And then from there, I'm going to spend the remainder of the year investing in the S&P 500 and a dividend yield fund. And that's going to secure making sure that I get those goals down pat for the finance. For the fitness, I think the main thing is simplicity. Obviously, I said before, the carnivore diet works for me with my blood glucose readings. And I think 90 days of just being strict on the keto, the carnivore will be a good start. And then after 90 days, if I want to add vegetables, salad, I'll look at a more keto-friendly approach. I plan to meal prep every Sunday and Thursday for dinner and lunches, and keep eggs and bacon on hand for breakfast, or go with fasting through breakfast until lunch. I'm going to allow an extra $100 in my food shop for the more premium cuts so that I don't go getting sick and tired of just eating mince or lean beef and chicken. And as far as my thing with gym, I think the key for that is definitely going to be training at least 3 times a week. Obviously, simplicity is best, so I've got the same routine. And from here, I'm going to aim to get up and do my lifting first thing of a morning. That way, if I get home and I'm tired from work, I've already done the most difficult part of my day. From here as well, we're going to look at afternoon walks and or cycling daily for at least 30 minutes. And then I guess the whole thing with the skills and the hobby is that, yeah, I'm currently obsessed with finances and money and work, and I need to take a break from this workaholic cycle. It's not good for me, it's not good for the family. So every second weekend I get off at the moment, and I'm going to go fishing with the gear that I've already got. I've purchased a few little bits and pieces to help create this minimalist setup so I can just load the car, boom, be done with it. And I'm going to track the metrics as far as the skill set and see how many fish I actually can catch for this year. So whether or not that's something you see in the bottom corner of the videos, we are starting at 0, but we'll keep an eye on all this data for all of these 3 goals, and every month or so I'm going to sit down and review them. I'll probably keep that personal to myself until the end of the year. And as far as the YouTube videos, we're going to batch record it so that we've always got extra up our sleeve. Now, I don't know if anyone else has noticed the elephant in the room, but with any goals that you set, it is always a thing about consistency. I know this is going to sound stupid, but the key to consistency is to constantly be consistent. Right, genius idea, I know. But if there was like a little red button on the table in front of you, and every time you could just push that red button and your goals would be done for the day, that's how you need to think about this. You just need to hook in and get it done daily. Of course, with the workouts, I think it's been proven that training daily is better than every few days in the sense of building a habit. So whether or not I back off the routine and make it something I can do daily, I might even look at that. But the thing is that you've been here before. You already know all these goals. I knew my goals already. I knew what I wanted to achieve. You knew what you wanted to achieve. But 2026 is the time that we really need to just get serious about it. So go ahead, sit down, make your own list, write your goals down, reverse engineer it, set out steps so that you can achieve these goals, and take the data down. Keep a little journal or a diary, even type it in your phone every time you work out, or if you've got a financial goal or a career related goal, keep track of these things. Become the better person. No one's coming to save you. You need to become the person that you want to be. That's the thing. Like, if you looked at yourself and treated yourself as a child in the sense of diet and exercise and sleep and all these things, you do way better for yourself. So I want to encourage you this year to get on your goals. So comment down below, tell me at least one of your goals, subscribe so that you can follow along for my journey, and please do give me that thumbs up so that we can help the algorithm really push this video out. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one.